In this section, we will discuss some tips and best practices for meeting etiquettes with your boss. Whether you are meeting to discuss a project update, a proposal, or a request, you should always show up prepared and professional. By following these guidelines, you will be able to communicate effectively and respectfully with them, and avoid common pitfalls and mistakes that can damage your reputation. You aim to make a strong impression with your performance and communication abilities, but you also want to avoid appearing overly eager, overly shy, or impolite. How can you strike the right balance and make the most of your meeting time? First, preparation for meetings with your boss. Thoroughly review and debate your points beforehand. Research and rehearse your proposal, and anticipate possible questions. Say a project update. You should have the latest data, charts, and feedback available along with a list of key points and questions. Open all the required files on your laptop, instead of searching through multiple folders at that time. Avoid taking an uncharged laptop to a meeting. If your laptop dies mid-meeting, scrambling for a power outlet can damage your credibility and reputation. If you need handouts, ensure you have all required documents. Avoiding these mistakes helps maintain a positive, dependable image in the workplace. Second, scheduling a meeting with your boss. Another significant factor is not just show up at their office without an appointment and expect them to answer your questions on the spot. You should always schedule a meeting in advance. Make a phone call or visit your senior requesting for a convenient date and time, along with the duration by highlighting some major points. You should send them a calendar invite explaining the purpose, agenda, date and time, and list the key points you intend to discuss. This approach not only shows that you respect their time, but also demonstrates your organizational skills and commitment to the plan. Third, the importance of punctuality in meetings with boss. Never keep your boss waiting. Punctuality is key in the workplace. Being on time for meetings shows that you value their schedule and are committed in making the best use of the allocated time. If you have a meeting scheduled for an 11 a.m., try to arrive a few minutes early to settle in and organize your materials. If you expect to be late due to unforeseen circumstances, inform your boss promptly with an estimated arrival time. Consistently, meeting deadlines, attending meetings on time, and responding promptly build a dependable reputation. Punctuality and preparedness convey professionalism and respect, fostering positive working relationships. Fourth, brief recap of the previous meeting. Start the meeting by stating the topics you intend to cover. If your meeting is a follow-up of the previous session, then do a brief recap, rather than jumping straight into new topics. By aligning with this method, it helps to set the tone for the meeting. For instance, in a recent meeting with your senior, you may have reviewed the forthcoming product launch. By revisiting these action items at the start of the current meeting, you can explain the progress made, identify any challenges encountered, and update any adjustments in the plan if necessary. Fifth, contributing valuable input to your boss. During discussions, offer valuable insights and distinct perspectives to stay actively engaged and demonstrate your analytical skills. Bringing unique viewpoints adds depth to the dialogue, while merely echoing your senior might suggest a lack of originality or hesitation in sharing your own thoughts. If your senior mentions a strategy for increasing sales, instead of simply agreeing, you could say, "I completely agree with your strategy on targeting new markets. Additionally, I think we could leverage social media campaigns to reach a wider audience." This response shows support for the idea and adds depth by suggesting practical steps for implementation. Sixth, stay focused during meetings with your boss. Do not digress from the topic unless it is finished or concluded. Maintain clarity in the discussions. If your senior is discussing the budget for an upcoming project, avoid digressing into unrelated topics, such as office events or unrelated project updates. Instead, remain centered on the financial aspects until all points have been thoroughly addressed. This helps ensure that all necessary points are covered without unnecessary distractions. Staying focused not only helps to maintain clarity in discussions, but also making a positive impression on your senior. Seventh, never outrightly say, "No, it is not possible." If your boss sets an unrealistic project deadline, rather than saying, "No, we can't meet that deadline," you could reply, Considering our current workload and resources, it may be difficult to achieve the deadline. However, we could either extend the deadline by a week or prioritize this project over others to adhere to the original schedule. Similarly, your boss asks to cut the project's budget by 30%. You could say, reducing the budget by 30% will impact the project's scope significantly. However, we could investigate reducing some non-essential features or extending the timeline to allow for more cost-effective solutions. If unsure about any alternate, ask for some time and assure them that you'll come up with a solution to achieve the target without compromising the goal. 8th, do not say, "as I have already told you," to your boss. During meeting, repeating this phrase can make you sound frustrated, defensive, or dismissive. Moreover, it will also make your senior uncomfortable. Say, your senior asks you for the project deadline that you have highlighted few minutes before, even though you might feel like you're repeating yourself. However, maintaining a respectful tone is essential. And don't say, "as I've already told you, the deadline is this month end." Rather, provide the information again politely by saying, "of course, the deadline is this month end," to maintain positive communication and enhance professional relationships. 9. Managing abrupt changes in boss's behavior. Recognizing and responding to sudden changes in your senior's behavior during meetings is crucial. This shift can indicate dissatisfaction, external distractions, or changing priorities. Imagine presenting a project plan and noticing signs of disengagement, frequent phone checks, watch glances, or unrelated questions. These behaviors suggest they may be losing interest or facing an urgent issue. Instead of continuing, address the situation or politely conclude the meeting, thank them, and suggest a reschedule. Follow up later to understand and address their concerns before the next meeting. This approach shows your respect for their time and priorities. It also demonstrates your adaptability and consideration for their circumstances. Let's recap the basic etiquettes of meeting with the boss. First, preparation for meeting. Second, scheduling a meeting. Third, the importance of punctuality in meeting. Fourth, brief recap of the previous meeting. Fifth, contributing valuable input to your boss. Sixth, stay focused during meeting. Seventh, never outrightly say, "no, it is not possible." Eighth, do not say, "as I have already told you," to your boss. Ninth, managing abrupt changes in boss's behavior.
Like this video, subscribe to Office to Kids and hit the bell icon.